Hi folks, and welcome back to Math with Captain Rod. I'm making this video here to help you understand how to calculate the distance between 2 points on a Cartesian coordinate system. So before we get to this example here, I'm going to ask everyone listening to take a look over here. This picture here is a picture of what's called a right triangle. A right triangle is a triangle that has a 90-degree angle in it. And there's a very important theorem in mathematics called Pythagorean Theorem. The hypotenuse is this long side that I have labeled as C here. And Pythagorean theorem says that the length of the hypotenuse squared, in this case C squared, is equal to the sum of the two shorter guys squared. So A squared plus B squared. As an example of Pythagorean theorem, imagine that this distance A were, say, 3, and this distance B were 4. I know that this dimensionally doesn't look right in the picture, but humor me, it's not important for the example. Then if I wanted to calculate the hypotenuse here, I would write out, okay, C squared is equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared. Now 3 squared is 9 and 4 squared is 16, so we'd have C squared equals 25. Square rooting both sides, so we would have C equals 5. So this is how you find the length of a hypotenuse for a right triangle. By applying Pythagorean theorem, which says the sum of the two shorter sides squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared in any right triangle. All right, so let's take a look over here now. We've got the point -5, -2. It's just a point I made up as, for this example. We've got the point 3, 2, and what we're going to do now is try to calculate the distance between them. So first I'm going to draw that distance, and I like nice straight lines here, so I'm going to put that guy right there, this one right here. All right, there's the distance between them, and I'll leave it in red, I guess. And the way that we can calculate that distance is by making ourselves a right triangle. And here's one we might do that, or one way we might do that. This distance from here to here, right, is the horizontal distance between the -5, -2, and the 3, 2. And then this distance is the vertical distance. And you notice what we have now is a right triangle. Notice that this triangle, that would make a right angle right there. Now, this distance right here, you'll notice it's 5 units from here to here and 3 more. That distance is equal to 8. But you can also, formula-wise, get that by taking 3 minus a -5. Which, in other words, is this x value. If you don't mind, I'm going to call it x2 minus this value, x1. And you notice that 3 minus a -5 is 3 plus 5, which is 8. So the difference between the x values will give you this horizontal distance. And this is always true. You always want to take the one on the right minus the one on the left, by the way. This vertical distance here, right, just count them, is 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can also get that by taking 2 minus a -2. That's 2 plus 2, which is 4. So in other words, we're taking y2 minus y1, and this is just the upper y minus the lower y. This distance is the hypotenuse, or the distance between those points. I'll just call it d. And now we can apply Pythagorean theorem. D squared is going to equal this distance, which we calculated at 8, squared plus this distance, which we calculated at 4, or to 4, squared. So let's see, D squared is going to equal 64 plus 16, which is, what is that? I think that's 80. And you square root both sides. So the distance there is the square root of 80, which is, a decimal. I guess, why not? Give me a moment here, I'll calculate that. Looks like about 8.94. I'm just going to say approximately 8.9, and that's good enough. in this example. So in order to calculate the distance between 2 points, you draw the points, put them on a plot, make yourself a triangle by going like over and up, or maybe up and over, doesn't really matter. Find the horizontal distance, find the vertical distance, and apply Pythagorean Theorem. I'm going to go ahead and had a meter stick fall over. I'm going to go ahead and save the examples for another video. So I hope that this has demonstrated for you how to calculate the distance between 2 points on a Cartesian plane. Have a great day.